Hey, what's up, guys? Today, I wanted to talk to you about the mindset that is required to basically conquer your goals in life. When we set goals for ourselves, whether or not we achieve them and the effort we put forth into those goals can really determine how we continue to progress going forward. Meaning, if we fail to hit those goals and we don't put in the proper effort, that can really discourage us to keep moving forward, might cause us to throw in the towel and come to the conclusion that maybe that goal or that sport or the business or whatever it is you're trying to do might not be right for me. And then on the flip side, if you find success in it, you might be more prone to do it. You might be more excited and more motivated to continue doing that. So goal setting and how we treat those goals and how we view them, the mindset, the perspective that we use in regard to accomplishing those goals is very important. I wanted to share a personal story of mine. It was a goal I set for 2021 and I didn't accomplish it. But it was something that I learned a lot from, and I'm essentially taking that same goal and trying to incorporate that into 2022. It was a goal I set to run 400 miles, and I know a lot of you guys on social media remembered it because a lot of you held me accountable to it, and I appreciate you for that. Unfortunately, I came up short, and I'm going to show you guys a picture on the screen right now that shows you basically a month-to-month graph of my efforts in accomplishing that 400 miles. So if you take a look at it, you're going to see that I came up short by about 100 miles. I ran just under 300 miles for the entire 2021. My goal was 400. I came up short. I didn't hit it. I still ran 300 miles though, which I'm pretty proud of. But there's a few things I wanted to point out about this journey of mine and kind of talk about some things that you can use going forward to help you stay motivated with achieving your goals. So if you'll notice, looking at the graph, the green lines represent how many miles I ran each month. And if you look at January and February, it's close to none. I think I ran once or twice in January and then pretty much stopped until March. And that's big to me because I think most people, if they set a goal, most people do the opposite. They set a goal, let's say it's a New Year's resolution, and they start off hard charging. They spend the first 2 weeks going balls to the wall, and then maybe they burn out. Maybe they stay the course. I'm not saying everybody burns out, but more often than not, people hit the floor running. The motivation's high. It's a little easier to do it when you start off strong. For me, it was actually completely the opposite. I started off very poorly, right? And that's where mindset comes into play. Because many people would have missed the first week or two and been like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I don't enjoy running as much as I thought I did. Maybe I set my goals too high, whatever the case is. But for me, I try to practice using the mindset of just, first and foremost, being in it for the long run, right? I set a goal for the entire 2021 and I started off very poorly. The first 2 months can be looked at as almost completely wasted because I didn't practice at all. I didn't put any effort into my goal, so I didn't really learn anything from it. But then if you continue looking at the graph, starting in March, I went pretty hard for, 5 months straight until I had another semi-poor month or two. And then I got back on track and I finished strong. So, that the ability to do that comes from the mindset of being in it for the long run. I looked at that goal as a marathon, so even though I missed the first 2 months, I didn't let it discourage me very much. In the long run, I didn't end up hitting my goal, but I still achieved a lot. I ran 300 miles in 1 year. I got better. That goal I had set for myself and the fact that I was willing to go the whole 12 months of trying to accomplish it really pushed me and motivated me to get up and run when I wasn't necessarily in the mood for running. When my intrinsic motivation wasn't very high, I was like, you know what, I got a goal. I'm gonna go run right now. I might be a little tired, I might be a little sore, I'm gonna go run. And that really helped me to run those 300 miles. Because had I not had that goal, who knows how much I would have ran that year, but I can assure you that it wouldn't have been anywhere near 300. So just having that goal in place and being willing to take a while to achieve it, being willing to stay the course and not need instant gratification allowed me to improve my running so much. You run 300 miles in a year if you don't typically run that much, and you're gonna see a lot of progress both in your running, but also in your fitness levels. I know the goal for many people when it comes to fitness is to stay fit, to look good throughout the year. And if anybody runs 300 miles in a year and you eat kind of clean, you're gonna see progress. You're gonna see great results. So this has been, the last year and a half now has probably been close to the peak of my physical fitness in my life. And I think it was just from the consistency throughout the year. Even though I came up short of achieving my goal of 400 miles, I was still in a 12-month span. If you look at that graph, I was very consistent. So I got to kind of reap the benefit of it, right? But there's a few points that I wanted to go over that are maybe a little bit more subtle, but are huge takeaways from this for both myself, but also for you. If you're somebody who struggles with achieving your goals and you have a hard time staying in it for the long run, I'm gonna give you some points that might help you going forward. It might give you a different perspective and allow you to get into a different mindset that's gonna finally let you conquer those goals. So the first point I wanna make is that you can start off slow. Like I said, most people start off balls to the wall, but it doesn't have to be that intense in the beginning to still accomplish your goals. If you're only giving yourself 4 weeks to achieve a goal, then yeah, you kind of got to be perfect for 4 weeks, but that's also why it's not a good idea to set such short-term goals. You can set milestones throughout the 12 months or however long the time frame is that you're looking to achieve your goals, but try not to strive for instant gratification. Be okay with spending a year to get your goals, and understand that you don't have to start off strong. You don't have to start off perfectly. I started off very poorly and I still accomplished a lot last year with my running. As a coach, I can't tell you how many times somebody's told me that like they miss a week or two and it just completely throws them off. I missed 2 months back to back in the very beginning of my journey and I still finished strong. If you get sick, if you get injured, if work comes up, life comes up, you have kids, whatever, it's okay to miss some time, even if it's in the beginning. Think long term and think consistency over long term. 10 months out of 12 is consistent, and that's pretty much what I hit. And that kind of brings me to my second point, which is when you're the one feeling the emotions and you're the one who's missing out on training or you're sick or you're injured, whatever the case is, whatever's stopping you from actively pursuing your goals, you're feeling those emotions, and a little bit of time can seem like a long time. Like I said, as a coach, I can't tell you how many times 1 or 2 weeks off has completely derailed somebody, completely demotivated them, and they never started again. They never got back into it again because they thought they wasted too much time. Set your goals long term. Give yourself at least 6 months. Give yourself a year. When you do that, you'll realize that missing out on a week or two is not a big deal at all. Emotionally, it's very challenging in the moment because, like I said, you're the one feeling it. You're the one who's feeling the negative emotions that come with not feeling productive. But just remind yourself, put it on paper, put it on a graph like what I just showed you so that you can see, wow, 2 weeks out of 52 out of the year is a very small percentage. So don't stress out if you have to miss a little bit of time. If you're thinking about things long term, it's going to be completely fine. Unless you miss like 6 months or more in a year, it's not going to be quite as bad as you think. The third point is that if you set a goal high, like extremely high, obviously I think it's smart to be realistic with your goals. Don't think that you're going to start a sport and go straight to the Olympics. That's a little unrealistic, but set your goals high. Try to accomplish something. Try to max out what your realistic accomplishments are in the time frame given, right? Because even if you come up short, you're going to have something to be proud of. If you say, hey, in 12 months I want to lose 100 pounds, that's a huge weight loss goal. And it may or may not happen depending on how consistent you are and other factors that go into it. But if you give it your best effort and you follow these points I'm giving you and you go that whole year trying and staying consistent and learning from your failures, fighting through the ups and downs, maybe you don't lose 100 pounds, maybe you only lose 60 pounds. But still, 60 pounds of weight loss is a phenomenal change for anybody to go through. So if you set your goals high, you shoot for the stars, even if you come up short, you're still gonna have something to be proud of. Like I said, I set a goal of 400 miles, which would be the most I've ever ran in a year. I don't run consistently that much. So for me, 400 miles was like, dude, I gotta be on top of my game, right? I started off poorly. My goal was set high. That's not a good combination for motivation, but I stayed the course. I stayed in that mindset of, it's okay, I have a year, I just gotta give it my best effort. Hey, I came up short, but I'm insanely proud of the 300 miles I ran. I'm a better runner because of it. I stayed more fit, and it taught me a lot. I took those lessons that I learned from that, and I'm already incorporating them into this year. If you saw the chart on the screen, January and February are already rocking for me. So set your goals high, keep them realistic, but shoot for greatness. Shoot for greatness, because even if you don't perfect it, you're still gonna achieve some greatness. It might not be at the magnitude that you thought, but you're still gonna have a lot of success. And the last point I want to talk about is the fact that just having a simple goal set in place, and I already kind of covered this a few minutes ago, but having a goal set in place is gonna keep you on track far more than you think. A specific goal. So if you're like, okay, I wanna lose weight next year. Yeah, there's a million ways to do it, and if you don't have some structure or routine to it, some organization, it's gonna be a lot harder to achieve that goal. But if you're like, I wanna lose weight by working out 12 times a month, I wanna work out 12 times every month, you might go through periods where you're not consistent or where you have to take time off, like I said, but having that goal in mind is going to keep you motivated. So when it's time to get back on track, you can get back on track. If you miss a couple days, you can make up for those couple days. That specific goal being in the back of your head is gonna keep you much more motivated than you think when you're not already motivated. And it did exactly that for me last year. And like I said, if I didn't have the goal of running 400 miles, I probably wouldn't have ran 300. I probably would have ran every once in a while, and then once I got over it, would have gone on to something else, been like, I don't care much about this. But I was like, you know what, I got pride. I got ego. Like I'm competitive with myself. I wanna see myself accomplish this. So even though I didn't hit my goal, I still pushed and I pushed and I pushed. And now I'm pushing into 2022. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna hit 400 miles this year, but I think because of my 2021 and my efforts and the lessons I learned, I'm a lot better equipped to conquer that goal this year. So there's so much to take from this, you guys. I just wanted to show you this because, you know, as fitness coaches or fitness influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call us, we're not perfect. We fail a lot. I set a high goal. I only got 75% of it done. But the mindset I have allows me to take away so many positive learning lessons from that failure that now I'm better because of it. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. You can become better because of it. Use these 4 points that I just went over. Use those to allow you to constantly be progressing through your goals, and I promise you it's gonna work for you. Hopefully this helped you guys. Maybe it motivated you, maybe it inspired you, maybe even learned something from it. That's my goal, is to share my experiences, the good and the bad, and to help make you guys better. If you think you know anybody who could benefit from this video, share it with them. Share it on your social media pages, share the link. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment if you like the video, and keep on coming back for more content like this.